Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Aaj bada kem cho? Aaj sab kaise ho? So today, you might be able to see on my eyes, I'm a little bit tired. I just got back from vacation. Uh, the vacation was it was fun, but it was very tiring. Okay, especially the actual traveling itself, because I was supposed to leave Thursday night, but the plane got canceled, and the only other cheap, reasonably priced flight was out of Orlando, which is 3 hours from my house, Friday morning, 6 a.m. So Thursday night, plane got canceled. So at 1:30 a.m., I had to drive 3 hours to Orlando overnight. Get there at 4:30 to catch the plane, okay? And then when we came back Sunday, the next morning, Monday, I had to get on a very short, luckily we found like a $30 Spirit flight to Orlando, and then I had to drive the car back. Okay, so yeah, that's why my eyes might be a little bit tired. I actually slept 12 hours last night, but yeah, it was insane. But I noticed over while I was gone, and I'm going out of town a lot this summer. Okay, the next 6 to 8 weeks. But uploads should be somewhat consistent. I'm gonna try to make a video every time I come back and right before I leave, so twice a week. So one upload like on Monday or Tuesday, and one on Thursday or Friday. Okay, something like this. But I noticed while I was gone, my emails got a little bit backed up. Okay, and my emails are generally on some kind of Rahu or Ketu Dasha period that someone's running that they need a little bit of help in, because Rahu and Ketu have the most, kind of, I guess you can say, karmic impact on one's life, so it needs a little bit more guidance. A majority of the time, Rahu. And I noticed my Rahu video just got over 5,000 views, so a lot of people are watching that one. And I just hit 1 year on YouTube. So I'm like, you know what? Let me start making some part 2 to these videos, because the amount of questions I get is only going to increase over time. And if I have any hope of keeping up with them, I better start making some part 2s just to clear some information up. Okay, especially if it's stuff a lot of people are asking about. So today I'm making a part 2 of my Rahu Dasha video. Okay, I'm going to cover some information that I necessarily didn't cover as much in the first part, or didn't cover at all. And there's 2 main things I'm going to talk about, okay? So the first part is what majority of you guys in the general public are here for, and that is how to kind of minimize or prevent any losses during your Rahu Dasha, or how to minimize or prevent or deal with any breakups that may incur during this Dasha period. And the second part, for those of you guys who are a little bit more into Jyotish, in general, is how to kind of analyze Rahu's Antardashas a little bit. Okay, so this is more like an advanced kind of discussion I'll have, but I'll have it after the more general one. Okay, that's kind of how I like to structure my videos. So I cover the most general stuff that most people are going to care about first, and then the more advanced people cover that more specific information afterwards. So the first part, how to prevent anything from going bad, or how to deal with anything, or how to deal with stuff when it goes bad and possibly get it back. Okay, here's one thing we need to understand. And this is a little obvious, but Rahu and Ketu move backwards, okay? I'm going to touch more on Rahu, obviously. Now, we need to understand how Rahu's impact on us is, because it specifically moves backwards. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, the rest of the 7 planets, they have a certain energetic cycle going through the signs, right? Like each planet starts at Aries and Taurus, Gemini, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes all the way down to Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Then the cycle starts all over again. Okay, there's a certain energetic flow to that cycle. And I discussed some of that flow in my all astrology signs made simple video. You can watch that if you haven't, okay? That kind of shows or demonstrates the flow of the 7 signs, okay? Now, when there comes to be any problems in our life, we tend to have very, I guess you can say, certain things that we do to try to tackle those problems, okay? And a lot of the, guidance we'll get externally is, I guess you can say, connected to that standard flow of, the zodiac cycle. For example, if you have any problem in your life, someone will give you some answer, or you will come to the conclusion from your mind or your ego, like sun and moon, to do certain things that are, I guess you could say, correlated with the standard flow. For example, if you have career problems, somebody will tell you, work harder, blah, blah, blah. marriage problems, relationship problems, whatever. They'll give you the standard answers, I guess you can say, okay? And these standard answers can work with the other 7, right? Especially even Saturn. Saturn moves really slow, but with enough effort and stuff like that, those standard answers, Saturn's still moving forward, so it'll still work, okay? But with Rahu, it doesn't move this way. It moves the other way, okay? And what happens is, if you are trying to do stuff in your life to promote a certain energetic cycle, and the planet, for example, in this case, Rahu, is, or you can actually kind of apply this logic a little bit to an extent to any other retrograde planet in your chart. But like I said, it's to an extent. You have to look at the planet and all this kind of stuff. But if you're trying to apply certain standard logic, like certain energetic logic, to a planet that's literally going the other way, they're going to clash. And when they clash, it's not going to end so well, okay? Especially because you're applying this logic mentally, okay? So the last Antardashas, like moon and sun and stuff like that, are not going to be pretty, especially moon. If you try to apply this certain standard logic on Rahu, which is moving backwards, okay? Now, when it moves backwards, what does this mean? Like, who cares that it moves backwards? But what is it exactly doing? Well, hopefully you guys understand the flow of a planet moving forward, okay? You guys understand the energetic flow, kind of assuming you do, etc. When it moves backwards, it's giving a lot more karmic results, okay? For example, in the standard flow, it's going fire, earth, air, water, okay? So the fire is like the creation, earth is like the stability, air is like the expansion, and then water is like the breaking down. Now you have, oh my God, break down, then kind of expand and stabilize, and then the things come through, okay? So you know how, like, in standard life, you try things and sometimes you might fail, okay? This is like the opposite. The Rahu will just make you fail, and then you have to, like, try and learn things afterwards, okay? This might not be something that you just fully understood in my last 2 minutes of talking, but hopefully this got the ball rolling on the kind of mindset that you need to have, okay? But it's very karmic, and it likes to just make things happen to get you to snap out of your whatever nonsense is going up here, okay? Especially at the end when it comes to, like, moon and stuff, okay? But with any of when the Rahu Mahadasha is going on, or even Antardasha, any Pratyantardasha, or when the Rahu Mahadasha is going on, any Antardasha below, anything related to that planet below, it'll try to snap you out of the illusion, I guess you can say, that's related to that planet. Okay, and not necessarily snap you out of that illusion. It could also make you dive into that illusion a little bit more, and then because the frustration and stuff is so big, you're kind of forced to snap out of it indirectly. Okay, snapping out of the illusion is more Ketu, but Rahu, it's more you're diving straight into the illusion, and indirectly you could snap out. Okay, but I would actually recommend the solution to all this is to understand that that it's causing you to dive into all this and to snap out yourself, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you why. So Rahu's causing all this karmic stuff, okay? It's kind of looking for things to do so that it can teach you some stuff, okay? Or it's kind of looking for illusions to kind of fulfill in your life, okay? Or things it can tempt you with, okay? Now, what happens is the more detached you are from everything, the less lessons, I guess you can say, it can teach you, okay? Now, the more you already know, and the less kind of Rahu's gonna kind of try to pain you, okay? Why? Because it, at the end of the day, has a very karmic purpose, okay? And that I covered in my first video. It's just kind of like, okay, the desires you have, it's trying to completely focus on that, okay? So But now everything that I focus on, it might obviously get fulfilled, and some of it might not. Actually, a lot of it might not. And even if some stuff does, it's not going to get fulfilled most likely in the exact way you want. Okay, but its focus is there. Now, if you're able to recognize that its focus is there and detach from it, it's going to take it a lot easier on you. Okay, and so if you've had the chance to watch this video or understand this mindset before you go into Rahu, or especially before the end or before anything bad has happened, that anything you're kind of scared that something bad's going to happen with, because if you're scared something bad's going to happen with something, most likely Rahu's going to torment you a lot in that area, especially if Rahu's in the house related to that area that you're really scared about, or your moon is. Okay, either in D1 or D9. So if you've had the chance to understand this mindset before, you want to detach from it, like get going like ASAP. Okay, because if you're detached, like I said, it's not gonna quite torment you as much. It's gonna be like, you know what? As far as the lesson I wanted to, as far as whatever I wanted to happen with this person in regard to that area karmically, it's not going to be the same now that they kind of see through my illusion. So we'll just go ahead and maybe not do anything about there, okay? And even if something does happen, you're a lot more mentally prepared, okay? Now, let's just say something did happen, right? You either didn't listen or you came across this video or some information afterwards. Then what you're going to want to do, if it's right after, or even if it's not right after, okay? But the only chance you have of getting it back, that thing, business, relations, whatever, is to adopt this mindset, okay? Because maybe what could happen is maybe Rahu could be like, oh man, you know, this illusion is done. I don't need to torment this person anymore. Maybe they might get this thing back. Okay? Maybe. And usually it won't be the exact same. For example, let's just say you lost some business. You might get it back, but it might not be as good. Or let's just say a person, you get them back. It might not be the same, right? But that's fine because things are constantly changing anyways. We can't get too attached, okay? That's the main name of the game. Do not get too attached. Everything's going to change. One day you're going to leave this body. You're going to leave everything behind, okay? Now, yeah, that's kind of the main message here, okay? Is that if you want to prevent something from happening or you want to get something back, adopt this mindset. Okay, that to just detach, because if you detach, literally, the Rahu's not going to be as harsh on you, because karmically you've already learned a certain lesson that it might that might be part of its agenda to kind of torment you with or teach you a lesson in that area. Okay, now even if you do lose that thing or you have lost that thing and you might not get it back, that is okay, because you don't want to be in pain forever in your life, okay? Even when your Jupiter starts, if you haven't dealt with those inner demons and all this attachment, your Jupiter Dasha, it could be awesome, but it's if you're still in misery up here, it's like, what does it matter, okay? Happiness is a state of mind, okay? So that's kind of the advice I'm going to give you on how to prevent it, and or I guess you could say what to do if you lose it or already lost it, okay? But definitely adopting this mindset will reduce the chances a lot of something bad happening to you, okay? I can guarantee it, okay? So that's that. One other thing I want to touch in this video is Antardashas, okay? Not the specific Antardashas of Rahu, but if Rahu itself is the Antardasha planet, okay? So we need to be a little bit, have a different mindset with Antardashas just a little bit. So Rahu is going to have the same flavor, okay? But the Antardashas are not quite as long. And as we know, it might be maximum like, I think 2 or 3 years for Rahu Antardasha. And the Antardashas are going to be specific, obviously, to the Mahadasha planet, okay? So what we need to do is we need to focus specifically and heavily on the things that the Mahadasha planet has in mind, okay? For example, if you're running the Mahadasha of your 10th house, okay, career, okay, or even if you're a kid, like school or something like that, okay, when Rahu Dasha starts, you know, don't be surprised if it tries to torment you much more in the areas of like school or career or something like this. Okay, and I'm just gonna give you an example. Something you want to do is just detach. Okay, just accept your fears in your mind. This doesn't mean that you're gonna quit, or you're gonna lose your job. I mean, you could, or you're gonna like drop out of school or something like that. This doesn't mean that, but you're just accepting the fears related to these things. If Rahu gets you super invested on getting like the most quickest promotion and stuff like that, just accept not getting the promotion, or just accept not getting 100% A+ straight A's. Okay, we're not saying that you're not going to try hard or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. You're just accepting the fears related to there. Okay, because we've been taught in our world today to live out of fear. Okay, and that's not the right way to do. And Rahu will like destroy you. Okay, if you're running your 7th house, anything related to any partner you have or partners you have, or any potential partner you might come across, someone you might be talking to, something like this. Okay, except the fifth. You're running a planet with both. Okay, let's just say it's your 10th and 7th lord, Mercury or Jupiter. The same logic applies, but now you got to do it for both of them. Okay, or even if it's whatever 2 planets the Mahadasha lord is under, or 1 if it's sun or moon. Okay, just keep in mind the areas, the houses that Mahadasha planet owns, and keep a very close eye on that. Okay, also the natural things that Mahadasha planet owns. Okay, so for example, if it's Venus, right, and Venus rules your 3rd and 8th, but Venus also naturally rules relationships. So not just the 3rd and the 8th house you got to look out for when it comes to things Rahu related, or Rahu might kind of try to cause havoc in, but the things Venus represents as well. Okay, the relationships and stuff like this. Now, also this could apply for when Rahu's the Antardasha, or Antardashas of Rahu itself. So like if Venus is the Antardasha of Rahu, this same logic could apply, although it's a little bit different. But with these harsh malefics like Rahu and Ketu and Saturn, the logic of the two, of like whether it's Venus Rahu or Rahu Venus, they kind of have a large overlap, I'll say. Okay, but in general, just do these things when for any Antardasha tips, whether Rahu's the Antardasha or whether it's the any planets Antardasha under Rahu. As far as Rahu as a whole, just make sure to detach from whatever you're scared of losing. Okay, because when you detach, you'll have a lot higher chance of not taking that thing away, or a lot lower chance of taking that thing away. Okay, and if it does go, or if it's already gone, you'll be a lot more happier in the mind, which is all that matters. Okay, your true state of happiness will be high. Okay, so I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. And thank you guys for watching. Talk to you guys next time.